Alrighty guys, welcome back to yet again another video. So, as you can tell, I'm definitely a lot better than I was. I feel like I'm all back to normal. And today, we're sitting in my van. The Rust Bucket, as I call it. This van is a 1998 Plymouth Grand Voyager Special Edition. Now, that's very weird. They call it Special Edition, but I wouldn't call it the Special Edition. I call it the crappy edition. Because this thing, well, it comes with benefits over the normal. Like, this comes standard with a 4-cylinder that makes 130 horsepower. That's lame. Well, this thing comes with a naturally aspirated V6 that makes 158 horsepower and 203 pound-feet of torque. Let me tell you, like, that's lame. Well, let me tell you, this is back in 1998, and this van only weighs 3,700 pounds. 3,700 pounds. That's light for a van. Like, even the average weight of a minivan today is about 4,500 pounds. Average weight. Some vans go up to 5,000, like the newer vans, like the Toyota Sienna with all-wheel drive. Yeah, you have to have a front diff, you gotta have a rear diff, you gotta have a drive shaft that goes all the way to the rear wheel. The all-wheel drive Sienna probably ends up going all the way to 5,000 pounds. That's a lot. That's 2 tons. No, that's not 2 tons. It's 2.5. Now, as you can see, these little, okay, let me go ahead and switch to cam. So, as you can see, I've got these little things up here. What is that for? Well, as you can tell, the carpet's starting to fall out. So, let me go ahead and run you through the features. So, you've got your cruise control stuff on here. You can turn it on and off. Now, when you turn cruise on, you set it. So, that's a benefit. And then you accelerate. That's how you accelerate. You press cancel, or you decelerate. So, and here, there's one stock over here which controls the windshield wipers. It controls the windshield washer spray when you press it in. Controls your windshield wipers, your turn signals, your lights. You push it like that for your brights. See, as you can see, flashing the brights. Now, up here, you see the normal gauge cluster down here, which there are some, like, now what's really nice about this is that the warning lights in the gauge cluster are very hard to see. Now, this panel up here is actually for the warning lights that did not fit in the gauge cluster. Now, as you can see, this van comes with a tachometer. Normal vans did not come with a tachometer. Now, you've got a radio up here. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do, I'm going to stick the key in. So now, as you can see, the clock is on. It's not bad for how old it is. Speaker system's not bad at all. Now, here are your mirror controls. Now, this actually relates to the Rolls-Royce Phantom. You see, that turns on your lights. This right here actually turns on the lights in here. But if you put, okay, so there are different settings. So that turns the lights all the way off. When you turn it on, here is your brightness for your gauge cluster and the brightness for these over here. Because all these buttons over here light up at night when you have the headlights on. This is the brightness, and if you go up here, the mileage and what is it? Oh, and the like gear you're in and the mileage light up brighter, and so does the clock. And if you go like that, that turns on the lights. So it's a lot of different settings. Now the parking brake, just press it in for like that, and then you let it go like that. So that's pretty cool. Now, as you can see, this logo right here, you're like, that is not the Plymouth logo. Well, even if you know what the Plymouth logo is, the Plymouth logo is this right here. Wondering, that's not this logo right here. This was actually the Chrysler logo way back in the day. Yeah, Chrysler logo. They also have the same logo on the windows, which is very difficult to see. They've got them over there. This thing is a leather wrapped steering wheel. It's actually, I think it's fake leather, to be completely honest. It's not really that nice to touch, but yeah. So you've got your, you can unlock, you can roll down your windows. Now these are toggle switches. I don't know if you noticed, these toggle switches are out of the Jeep Grand Cherokee. The same toggle switches. There are a lot of things borrowed from Chrysler vehicles that are put in here. Like this is borrowed from the Dodge. It's borrowed from the Dodge. What is it called? It's the cargo van, the Dodge cargo van. As you can see, this button is for air conditioning. This button is useless now because it doesn't work anymore. This is to get more air around the cabin. This is the rear windshield defroster. This is for the spray nozzle. This is for intermittent wipers. And then this is for just turning on the wiper, and it just constantly goes back and forth. Now here are your controls for these. These right here, stopping here. So right here, what I'm circling with my finger are climate controls. That's it. All simplified. Got your fan over here. You've got where the air is coming out of. Got your temperature. Now this does not have dual climate controls. Now if you got the newer, if you got the more special, if you got the 99, it did come with dual climate control settings. Now you're wondering, okay, so there's this stock right here. Is there stock? There's not stock on this side. Instead, you've got the very smooth, it's very convenient. So if you, go ahead and see, the engine is cold. That's how much fuel is left. This thing's gonna need fuel. Now, as you can see, the oil light's on. The oil light is always on when you've got the battery on. Now, here's one major benefit. Yeah, you gotta be really careful. You gotta have your foot on the brake when you go out of gear, because with this van, it does not have a brake. You can literally go out of gear. As you can see, the van's just barely starting to move. I'm gonna put that in park. We put it in neutral. This thing is just gonna start rolling. Now the booster is out of boost. There's like no brakes. So, let's go ahead and sit in the back and feel what it's like to sit in the back of this thing. Now we're going to go ahead and unlock all the doors, which I already did. Now here is one thing. I put cloth. Now this cloth is very nice, but guess what's really weird about the seat? As you can see, there's these vents right here. There are no rear climate. Most people think there are no rear climate vents in a Plymouth Grand Voyager. Now, if you got the more upgraded version, as you can see, there's a vent right here. It goes through here and it pushes hot air onto this window right here to help with ice and stuff. This hole right here takes air through the door panel and it sends it out this vent back to the rear passengers. Now you can change it between whether it's going at your head or at your feet. Only 2 settings. There's also a reflector on the door just to tell people that a door is open. Now we're going to go ahead with the keys. We're going to go ahead. Now this van has been very well maintained. Now if you see, the rear part of these seats are actually, like, I'm not even kidding, they're leather. Yeah, the back part of the seats are leather, but the part you sit on is cloth, which really doesn't make sense. We're gonna move to the back seats back here, which is where all the fun happens. So if you sit way back here, you've got 2 cup holders here, you've got 2 cup holders over here, and you also have that. You've got 2 Compartments over here. Now, one thing you can do is you can pull this lever right here. It's hard to see. If you pull this lever right here, pulled over to the side, let me go ahead and just like show you. I hope you can see. Okay. So this lever right here, you pull it over to the side, and then that releases the lock so you can move the seat back. Now it's really cool as you can see all the mechanics down here. You see everything. It's really cool. Anyway, now moving up back in front, as you can see, this van has no center console, so I added it my own, which is just this basket right here. Now, as you can see, you're looking at the like dashboard and everything. Now, what we're gonna go ahead and do is that we are going to go sit in the passenger seat and see what it's like to sit in the passenger seat. Now, here's one main thing: this does not have captain's chairs, although it was an option. See, so that means since you don't have captain's chairs, the seatbelt goes over like that. See the issue? The seatbelt's here and here to get caught. So that's one bad thing about this. So now what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna go ahead and sit in the passenger seat, see what it's like to sit over here. Now here's one major benefit is that most vehicles today have one vent here. You get two vents. The passengers get two vents. Now what about cup holders? Where are the cup holders? Right there. And as you can see, it says do not put, now this was back in the day when people smoked, which people still shouldn't smoke, according to me, because, well, according to science. Now this is the original 1998 Plymouth Owner's Manual. As you can see, that's the Plymouth logo right there. That is not the logo on the steering wheel. Sheep. Anyway, as you can see, this thing did come with a few upgrades. As you can see, you got cruise control, got all that. You've got power windows, you got hold and release. As you can see, he's trying to show you the latch on how to open the hood. Now, what we're gonna go ahead and do is that I'm gonna show you. Now, as you can see, this owner's manual is like junk. Now, I do want to show you that this van has been very well treated to the point where everything has been marked out. Like everything, look. Oil change and oil filter change. 8, 14, 98 at 18,244 miles. Now, in case you were wondering, this van is actually a retired rental vehicle. Yeah, a retired rental vehicle. But anyway, as you can see, I have one of these as well. USB charger. It's very nice. Just put in the cigarette lighter down here. Now, sadly, there's only one. SRS airbag right here. Now, the dashboard is soft, as you can see. What time is it? Yeah, that's currently the time right now. Yeah, I'd just like to know the time. Now, this compartment right here gives you the different CDs. I am actually going to take that inside because it's no use for me and I don't need it and I don't want it. What we're now going to do is I'm going to show you the engine. This van has a bad muffler. I would start it up, but it's very loud. Because its muffler is bad. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you the glorious 3.3 liter 6-cylinder made into a front-wheel drive 4-speed automatic transmission. All right. Go ahead and just. There it is. There's the glorious 3.3 liter 6-cylinder engine. As you can see, there's the alternator. Now, if you look down, look at this. You can see my foot underneath. Now, as you can see, these are rusted out exhaust pipe. And look at there. It's Chrysler logo on the exhaust. As you can see, the exhaust actually starts here. This is where it takes the exhaust out. Also gets the exhaust on the other side, and it goes through all the way to the bottom to the back. Yeah, the headlights, you've got washer fluid for the window. See, engine coolant only. See owner's manual. Now this thing has a major coolant leak, so I gotta be checking it constantly. And there's a shock tower. Okay, let me go ahead and put that down. There she blows. Now I currently only have my permit, so of course you need one of these. Yeah. Now if we open the trunk, and this is cold. Usually those things don't work really well. Now let me show you some benefits. So when you've got this closed and you pull this, and most things usually just, oh wow, that's ice. I didn't even realize it's just there. Oh. See. So we're just gonna go ahead and open this. As you can see, the trunk space isn't actually that big. You have a outlet back here too, and there's the jack for jacking up the van on the sides of the road. Now let me just show you real quick. Now here's the same lever. See, that's all the way forward. You've got some pretty nice trunk space, but as you can see, the seat rails are very exposed. That's because, all right, so there we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Alrighty guys, so right now I'm going to do a startup video, and I'm also going to do a rev. Now the rev video was taken about, I don't know, like 2-3 months ago. So, before I even had my permit. So, we're just gonna go ahead and do that, and we'll just call this video done. Alright, so let's go ahead and switch the camera. Key in the ignition. Gonna keep the door open. Trip. Wanna see the trip? 275 miles so far. Cold start.
My goal had been to lose